Suresh, I think we can start now. Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I'm
just
ready. Uh,
okay.
so we can
Very
start.
good
Okay.
evening. Yeah, very good evening, Suresh, and a very good evening to all
Yes.
of you who have joined
Good
today's.
morning, good evening.
Yeah, very good evening. So we all know that today's webinar is on voice modulation in English, and we have with us Dr. Suresh. So just before we proceed ahead, let me give a very brief introduction of Suresh. Dr. Suresh is a professional in English language teaching since 2006. He has trained and mentored ESL, EFL teachers through a broad spectrum of language training, including English for young learners, English for standardized testing, IELTS, TEFL, business English, hospitality English, and generic ESL, EFL training. He is a young and YouTuber too, and he has been an inspiration to the ESL learners. So, Suresh, would you like
Yes,
to
ma'am.
something, some few words from your end?
Yes, hi. Good evening, everybody. So before we start, I would like to thank APTTI and also the officials in Calcutta office, Mr. Roy, and other members of board, and also the organizers of this webinar. Thank you so very much for giving this opportunity to share my knowledge and
Most
expertise.
welcome.
And I'm sure that this would be a wonderful session for all the young, or rather, budding trainers, because these are important skills today in order to teach English. Or, in other words, these are the skills that are lagging today from most of the, oh, not most, some of the trainers today. And I'm sure that this, whatever you're going to get out of this session, will definitely help you uh, to be a better teacher or trainer in the days to come. So I request you all to just stay with me till the end of the session and try to grab as much information and knowledge as you can, so that that will help you get better in the future. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suresh. Thank you.
Yes.
So I think we can move ahead.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. And I'm sure that there are. I think there's somebody is not on mute. Please put yourself on mute if there's
Yeah,
anybody, because
I request everyone to
yeah.
mute yourself. Yeah, please to mute yourself.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you. All right. I'm sure there may be one or two students who already met me in the previous webinars that we conducted, and I believe that I'm audible to everybody. And if you're a new person, I think you got to know about me a little bit. So I'm a trainer and also a teacher. Now, in today's session, we're going to get into this voice modulation. Now, everybody can speak English, everybody can be a better teacher, but when it comes to how better they are in their voice modulation, that is always a question, especially with the non-English teachers or trainers. I think there's somebody is not on mute. I request you to put yourself on mute, so that it won't distract anybody. So thank you. Fine. So there's so many things that we include or we have in the TEFL training. One among them would be the voice modulation, and I'm sure that everybody would have heard this term, voice modulation. What is it? You would be wondering, voice modulation, what is that? So I've got some definitions for you for your understanding. It's all about just to control your voice, like how better you're going to control it. Are you going to go block it and release the whole thing when when you speak English or when you read something, or you're just going to put a stress on a particular part, leaving the others? It's all about that, like just controlling your voice while you're speaking. Or we can, by just changing the pitch, maybe the words or the sentences would be the same, but just changing the voice, meaning by altering the voice, or in other words, by raising the volume of the voice or lowering the volume of our voice, we can just change the meaning. Let's see some example. Excuse me. Now look at this sentence. We usually say this word, she is a friend, but we can just change the meaning by just changing the pitch. I'm just going to demonstrate that. Look at that. She is a friend. Look at that. I'm just stressing the word. She is a friend. For example, somebody, we're talking, there are three people, my friend and I. My friend
Wait.
is a girl, and my friend and I are talking. And there is another third person. He's asking, is that your wife, or is that your brother? Is that your sister or something? And you say, she is a friend. He says, she's a friend. When you stress the word on friend, it means it's a friend, not a wife, not a brother, not a sister, or something else. It's a she, not somebody. There are so many people. I said she is my friend, not her, not her, not her. Okay, that means you stress the particular word in order to highlight it is that person, not somebody else. And you also, if you stress the word friend, it means that she's just a friend, not something else, like not a wife, not a sister, or something like that. Suppose if you stress on the word is, for example, she is a friend. That means you're giving more volume to the word is. She is a friend. That means as if now she's a friend. Maybe she in the past she would have been a wife, or she would have been something else, or in the future there is no guarantee what it would be. But as of now, at this time, she is a friend. Now that is the meaning. Or if you put the word, if you stress the word a, that again, it changes the meaning. She's a friend. She's a friend. I have so many friends, and she's one among them. And that is the meaning. So we'll just see some other. Look at that. The prince, not the princess, will kill the king. Look at that. By just modulating the voice, we're going to just change the meaning. Okay, look at that. The prince, not the princess, who killed the king. Now here, the prince is the killer. Look at that. The prince not. The princess who killed the king. Now here, the princess is the killer. Look at the way how we modulate, meaning the up and down of the voice. That is what modulation. Now where to raise the volume, for which word we have to raise the volume, for which word we have to lower the volume, that is dependent upon what kind of meaning you would like to give it to the listener. It is dependent upon what you really want to convey. It's just with the voice you can just change the meaning. Okay, and look at the other word. It is raining today. We usually say it is raining today. Look at the how we're gonna go modulate it to change the meaning. It is raining today, meaning now. It is raining now. It's not about at the present. No, at the time of me talking, it is raining outside. When I look outside, it's raining. Okay, not about the past. Or it's not just shiny outside, it's raining. Or if you say that, I said it is raining. Now, when you stress the word is, man, currently, presently. Or if you stress the word raining, that means it is raining, man. It's not shining. It is not like sunny outside. It's raining. Or it's not cloudy. Or it's not any other. It's just raining. Or if you stress the word today, it means it's raining today. I'm not talking about the raining that had happened yesterday, or I'm not talking about the raining that we will be having, or we might be having tomorrow or some other day. I'm talking about today. That is the meaning. Look at that. He's taking the dog for a walk in the park. Look at that. You just stress each and every word, you have a different meaning. Look at that. How many words are there? There are like 11 words, I think. Okay? So you can just change the meaning, 11 different meanings by just simply modulating the whole sentences. Look at that. He is taking, sorry, look at that. He is taking the dog for a walk in the park. Meaning, it is he, not somebody else. It is not she, it is not them, it is not somebody else. It is he specifically. we're talking about. That is the meaning. He is taking the dog for a walk in the park. My meaning now, not I'm not talking about any other time. Now, present, at present. Or you can say if you stress the word taking, look at that. He's taking the dog for a walk in the park. I'm taking. I'm not dragging it. I'm not chasing it. I'm not lifting it. I'm not doing anything else. Of course, you may ask, taking. Now, every word has got different meanings depending upon the context. All right. In that thing, if you stress, that is the meaning. I said I'm taking. Now, where you would just stress this point, somebody is saying, you say something, the other person is maybe partially listen to whatever you said, and then that person is asking again, how did you, what happened? What are you saying? I said, I'm taking the dog. I'm taking the dog. Oh, you're taking. All right. I understand now. So that in that kind of context, you change the meaning. And if you put the word stress on the word dog, he's taking the dog for a walk in the park. I'm not taking the tiger. I'm not taking the cat. I'm not talking. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about the dog. No, this kind of a stressing, this kind of a voice modulation would usually happen when you try to say the same thing again. Because the first time when you say, the listener did not understand completely, or sometimes he did not catch up that particular word. It depends. And then you go ahead and stress it the second time. I said I said he's taking the dog for a walk in the park. I didn't mean any other lamb. I didn't mean any other like a cat or anything else. I said dog. And then the same context, second time when you stress it, I said I said he's taking the dog for a walk in the park, not for jogging, not for just anything else. It's just for a walk, nothing else. That is the meaning. And then if you stress it in the on the word park, it means in the park. I did not take the dog to a cafe. I did not take the dog to a restaurant. I did not take the dog to any malls or something. I meant specifically the park. So that is like each and every word. You just go ahead and stress it and changing the meaning. And look at the next one. She's a photographer. We say she's a photographer. Some of us may even say that she's a photographer. No, that is not the way how this particular word is pronounced. It's photographer. She's a photographer. What? What did you say? I said she's a photographer, meaning she's a photographer. I didn't mean she's something else. I say that she's a photographer. What? Who? Somebody saying, who? I said, she is a photographer. I meant she, not anybody else. There are so many people around. So likewise. And I believe everyone is listening. I said, I believe everyone is listening. I'm talking about I. I don't know whether the other people are believing. I'm talking about my belief. So if I stress the word I, that means I'm talking about only my belief, not about anybody else's belief. All right. If we say that I believe everyone is listening, meaning I believe. I'm not just simply ignoring. I'm not just being lethargic. I'm not being ignorant about everyone listening. All right. If you put the stress on the word everyone, I believe everyone is listening, meaning I'm stressing there everyone. I believe everyone is listening, specifically everyone, whoever is into this webinar. Okay, so if you put the stress on is, it's about the present. If you put it on listening, everyone, I believe everyone is listening. Nobody is talking. They're just simply listening, not anything else. So to just modulate these kind of, when we talk in a regular conversation, that is how we call it as voice modulation. Just imagine that somebody else is just giving a bad news to you, okay? And he's telling you that, you know what, I just tried to contact, because that person who is talking to you, he knows you and your neighbor. Okay, he's in a distant place. He tried to contact your neighbor, but he's not able to contact the neighbor. So he contacts you. He tells you that, you know what, I tried to contact your neighbor, but I couldn't get him. but you please convey this message to him. One of his friends, old friend, or maybe an elderly person, a relative, has passed away. I try to convey this message to your neighbor, but I'm not able to reach him. Could you please convey this message to your neighbor, please? Because you're just a neighbor. You can just walk into his house and you can get him. You can tell him the message. You say, okay, sir, I'll take it. And you just go knock the door. All right? That person comes out. Look at the voice modulation, okay? You tell them, you know what? I think your neighbor, I mean, your relative has passed away. So I think you need to start and go there. Is that the way? Look at the way. If you raise the volume, look at the message, the content. The message is not something happy. The message is not something exciting. It's something sad. That means you have to change the tone. You have to change the pitch. You have to change the way how you go. Tell them, all right, with some words to lessen the effect. I'm afraid one of your relatives has passed away. So I just got a call from this person. So this person asked me to inform you that you just lower the volume. You don't raise the volume up at all. Okay, if you raise the volume up, the meaning changes. Meaning you're not bothered about somebody dying. You're just there to just pass the message. Now you're not a machine. You're just a human being. So you need to bother about the emotions. So you need to modulate the way how you go tell that message to that person. So that means you have to lower the pitch. And look at the other context. Somebody has got won some medal. Okay, so there's in some competition somebody got a medal, got a first prize. That person comes and tells you, you know what? I just got the first prize in this competition. And at that time, this content is something that is related to excitement, happy, something that is good. So at that time, you just have to raise your volume. Oh, that's really very good. I appreciate it. You cannot just change your volume. Oh, that is really good. I appreciate it. But if you put your volume like this, the meaning is maybe the sentence is right. The meaning of every word is different. I mean, actually, how it is as it is. But the meaning that you convey there is different. That means I'm not happy about you getting first medal or whatever. I'm not happy at all. But I'm just simply telling you this because I have to tell you, just for courtesy. That's the meaning. So how you have to say, oh, that's really good. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, you have to go a long way. I'm happy for you. That's how you just say it. And not just changing the wall. Oh, is it? Okay. Okay, good. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You have a long way to go. That is not the way. Because you change the meaning by just exhibiting the tone in a different way. Okay, that is what voice modulation. So overall, depending upon the content, depending upon what you're trying to say, you just have to change the pitch. On top of that, there are some basic rules in the English language. Like, just imagine that every word's in the English language. For example, when we talk about Hindi, I don't know. I actually don't know Hindi, but I believe that English is a language. I'm sorry, the Hindi is a language that is flat. It doesn't have a stress pattern unless it is required. Usually, in a general sense, it is always flat. For example, that's how English. In other words, we speak English like this. She's a friend. The prince, not the princess who killed the king. It is raining today. He's talking. He's taking the dog for a walk in the park. He's a photographer. A photographer. I believe everyone is listening. No, this is not English at all. This is absolutely not English. This is called Hinglish, or this is not. This is called Tunglish. Uh, okay, just the way how we speak our own mother tongue. That is how it is. No, that is definitely not the way how English is. English is all about like up and down, not just flat. Okay, so just to tell you, every word in the English language is split into pieces. Every piece is called a syllable. Okay, I'll just give you an example. This is it. Look at that. Every word in the English language can be split into pieces. Every piece is called a syllable. And not all the syllables are given equal volume when we pronounce the word. Only one syllable, or in other words, one piece is given more volume than the other piece. We cannot say about. We just cannot say committee. We just cannot even say photography. Flat. It is not flat at all. We do not say Wikipedia. We cannot say recapitulation. No, that is absolutely not English. It has, it is said in a different way. Look at that. About. Look at that. About is given more volume. Take is just one syllable, so it doesn't matter where to stress. It's all put together. We just say take, equal volume. Okay? Look at the second word. About. We give more volume to about the second part than the first part. Look at the second one. Committee. We usually say committee, committee. This committee, that committee, the meaning the last part must be given more volume than the other two parts. Committee. E. That is naturally, that's how this word is pronounced. That is how it has to be pronounced. So we have to stress that last part, not the other parts. Similarly, look at that. It's like first word is one syllable, second word is two syllables, and third one is three syllable word, and the fourth one. Look at the fourth one. There are four syllables. Photography. There are four parts. Not all the parts are given more volume or equal volume. Only one part is given more volume. That is photography. Tog. Rafi. I don't say photography. I only say photography. That is the exact rule as to how this word is pronounced. Look at the next word. Wikipedia. Wikipedia. P should be given more volume. Look at the next word. Recapitulation. Only this word, lay, one, two, three, four, fifth syllable is given more volume than the other syllables. La, lay, it should be pronounced as lay. Should be given more volume. Recapitulation. Recapitulation, I say recapitulation. Lay should be given more volume. So that's a word level. Likewise, not all the sentences are given equal volume when you pronounce it. Only certain words are given more volume and certain words are less in the volume. Okay? Like just like how I talked about the word stress, there is also a sentence stress, meaning not all the words in the sentence are given equal volume. Only one word is given more volume. How to find it out? That is absolutely dependent upon what meaning you want to convey. But there are some basic rules in the English language, which word must be pronounced and which word we have to lessen the volume. So we'll talk about that. Okay, this is it. I'm sure. Let me just make it big. Okay, sorry, a little bit. Okay, great. Look at that. All the words in the English language divided into stressed words, or in other words, they're called as content words. And then there are two parts. One, stressed words. The other one is non-stressed words. Now let's find out what are the stressed word category. Look at that. All we know that parts of speech, right? Noun, verb, adjective, adverb. These are the main words in the English language. Along with it, we have this question words, the WH word, you know about that? And then we have these demonstratives, and then there's negative auxiliary, and then the numbers, and long prepositions, and interjection. So these are called the stressed words in a sentence. The other type of words like articles, preposition, conjunction. Now, these are called non stressed words. That means when you read a sentence or when you speak a sentence, these category words, we just have to reduce the volume. We should not give the equal volume to all the words. Just to look at this. Sorry, there are articles, preposition, conjunction, pronoun, and be verbs. We know what are be verbs, right? Be verbs and auxiliary verbs. Let me make it big. Let me highlight it or zoom it. Pronoun, be verbs, auxiliary verbs, and short preposition. So these are called the non-stressed words in a sentence. That means we just have to reduce the volume. Some example sentences are given. I don't know. I'm just checking whether I'm not cut off. Okay, great. Look at this. Let me zoom it. Okay, look at the highlighted words are stressed words in these sentences. The other words are not stressed in these sentences at all. Okay, look at that. I'm talking to the clever students. You cannot say, I am talking to the clever students, not flat. Look at that. I don't say I am. I say I'm talking to the. I don't say to the. No, to the. Because you have to reduce the volume. Why? Because these are called the non-stressed words. Why the highlighted, bolded words are important? Because they're called the stressed words. Because talking is a verb, clever is an adjective, students is a noun. So these are called the stressed words. So obviously you have to stress these words in a normal conversation. Okay, but if you want to highlight that, you can highlight it depending upon the meaning of the message that you want to convey. But in a general context, this you have to exhibit it. Look at that. I'm talking to the clever students. Look at the second one. You are sitting on the desk. No, that is not the way. You are sitting on the desk. Sitting, desk. Only these words are heard with more volume. I hope you would have heard the same. You are sitting on the desk. I don't say you are sitting on the desk. I don't say that. Or that is not the way how it is said it. Because sitting is a verb. Desk is a noun. And these two are stressed words. So we have to stress. The rest you have to reduce the volume. So instead of telling you are, we use the contracted form, meaning a combination of two words. And even that too, you just reduce the volume by saying yo. Look at that, yo. You don't even say you are, your, no, yo. Just like yo. You're sitting on the, look at that, on the desk. On the desk, not stressing, not enunciating the part on the desk. No enunciation. Just swallow the volume right there on the desk. Look at that, on the desk, like that. But you're, look at the second part. But you're listening to me. But you're, look at that. I don't say but you aren't listening to me. No. But you have to reduce the volume. How to reduce it? But you, look at that. But you aren't. But you, look at that. But you aren't listening to me. That is out. Look at the third one. He's writing quickly. He's writing quickly. I don't say he is writing quickly. Not even. Not the voice is not even to all the words. He's writing quickly. I swallowed it, half of it. He's writing. You only hear it. He's writing quickly. Look at the second part. I don't say, so it is difficult for him to hear me. No. Look at that. I put it together and then reduce it. So it's difficult. You only hear the word difficult. So it's difficult. I don't say, so it is difficult. No. So it's difficult. You only hear the word clearly, difficult, not the other words. For him to, look at that. For him to. You put it together, you reduce it like this. For him to. For him to. For him to. Look at that. For him to hear me. For him to hear me. Me. Hear me. I don't say me. I only say hear me. Me. I reduced it. Just like photography. Okay, how you reduce the volume. Here, you just reduce the volume. So likewise, okay, now we're gonna go learn how to reduce some other words. I will be sharing these materials. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we're gonna learn how we have to reduce. Okay, look at that. And most of these words Words like the auxiliary verbs and preposition, conjunction, articles, apart from the main words. Main words means the verb, noun, adjective, adverb. These are the major group of words, major word category. Okay, the rest all like secondary words or supporting words. With the main words, without the help of the supporting words, we can still make sense by speaking. For example, some word. Krishna, God, dead. Krishna, God, dead. I only use the main words. Krishna, noun. God is noun. Dead, again, noun. But you would have understood. I did not use the other supporting words, but still you would have understood. I did not use any other verb like auxiliary verb or any be verb or anything else. I only use the main words. But still you understood. May not completely, but 90% you understood the meaning. So that's why they call this the most important words. But only with the helping words, you cannot make sense without the nouns. So these are the major ones. So we're just going to find out. Like these word categories have weak pronunciation, strong pronunciations. Weak pronunciation is nothing but you reduce the volume in a general conversation or general speaking. And a strong pronunciation is something that is stress. If there is a need, you put a stress there, meaning you highlight it there, meaning you give more volume when you say that particular word, irrespective of any category words. Okay, so the weak pronunciation you use in a normal conversation. So how it is going to be? Look at that. We usually say, "I am a student." No, it is not a main word. Or these are not main words. For example, this is a pronoun, this is a be verb. So these are not something that you can give more volume in a sentence. For example, if you say that I am a student. No. You have to reduce it. How to reduce? Look at that. You put the contracted form and then you say like this, I'm a student. If there's a word a, let me just write it down so it'll be visible for you. I'm going to increase the volume to 100. I mean the size. Okay, that is too much, I believe. Okay, great. What is it? I am. Look at that. In the sentence, only this one's very important. These are not important words. Okay, so you have to reduce it like that. I'm a student. You only hear the word student more than I am a. All right, because since these are all non-stressed words, you put it together and then reduce the volume. How? Look at that. I'm a. Sometimes we say yeah this word like there is your pen. There is your pen. This yeah sorry pen. Look at that. This yeah, some of us may say like yeah. No, that is never yeah at all. It's never ever yeah at all. It's always like that's it. There's a pen. There's a pen. These two are more important words. The pen. Because your the remains exhibit as a subject. So there is a pen. There's a pen. Rather, this is the most important word. There's a pen. There's a pen. Pen is important here. This should be given more volume. So I'm, not I am. I have. No. It should be, for example, I have a pet. We usually say like this, some of us. I have a pet. No. You say, I have a pet. That's some Englishes. I have a pet. Meaning you silence the R and this E is also gone. So I let's put it together like AIV like that. I have a pet. I've a pet, not diva. Sorry, I've a pet. That is how you have to say. That is how the usual English is. I have a pet. If you say I have a pet, that means you're not speaking English how it has to be spoken. you are just speaking, you're not effective, that is the meaning, or you don't stick to the exact rules of English language, or you're not a native speaker, or you're just an average speaker. You're not considered to be a professional speaker, probably an average speaker. Maybe you can put it like in our context, that's fine. But even in our context, English is still getting up and up and up. Just imagine that. The kind of English you speak and the kind of English spoken by the kids in the school at present. Some very good school. Yes, ma'am? Are you talking to me? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible,
Ma'am?
Suresh.
Did you try to say?
No, you are audible.
Okay, I thought that you were trying to say.
No, no, no.
Okay,
You can
good.
carry
Okay.
on.
So yes, thank you. Thank you. I was talking about the kids, today's kids. And I'm sure that if you compare your English with today's kids' English, there will be difference. They would speak much better, polished, or stylistic English than your English. I'm sure you have to agree with me. Or if you have not heard, go to any nearby school, some English medium school, some good school. Okay, they'll be talking and then walking. You listen to them, you feel like, oh, these kids are talking English like this. I have to develop a lot. You feel like that. Okay, so you need to compete with them. How are you going to compete those generation? That is going to be a challenge. So you cannot just say that I'm an Indian, I only speak like Indian, or I speak like the Indians speak. No, not anymore, because everything is just mixed. Everything is developing day by day. It's not decreasing, it's increasing. It's developing. It is not going backward. So we no longer can say like this, I'm an Indian, I speak like Indian. We're not asking you to speak like American or British. Try to learn how the actual English is and try to speak it. Simple. Because the quality of English includes all these areas. Because if you're not going to have this voice modulation in your English, I don't think your English could be called as professional English. Or if you're not going to pronounce English words correctly, I don't think your English can be termed as very good English. You may only get satisfied with the term good English. I don't think it could go over that. Okay, so it is about quality. So if you really want to call your English as very good or professional, I'm sure you need to bother about all these things. Okay, so let's move further. Look at that. I will. Usually we say I will come. No, it's not necessary. You always put the usually the English people, English speakers would say, I'll come tomorrow. They will not say I will come tomorrow. They will only say what I don't understand. If you say a person says I will come tomorrow, for example, you're talking to an Englishman. All right, then Englishman says that I'll come tomorrow, and you don't understand that. What I don't understand, sir. He will say I said I will come tomorrow. At that time, he will just specifically split the word stress and tell you so that he will understand. Otherwise, you would always say, I'll come tomorrow. But we always say, I will come tomorrow. Because we don't need to separate it, because it's a non stressed word. If it is a non stressed word together, nearby, you can club it together. I'll, like this, I'll, either way, whatever other way it comes to you. You can say, I'll come tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. All right. And if it is the other pronouns like he'll do it, he'll come tomorrow, she'll come tomorrow, they'll come tomorrow, we'll do that tomorrow. So whenever you say that will, we will. I will, I'll. She will, she'll. They will, they'll. That's how it is. Similarly, the word I would, if you find this, there are three different meanings. It could be I should, it could be I would. Actually, this should be would, not should. I mistyped it. Okay. It could be I had. Three different should, would, had. It could be anything if you find contracted form like this. But depending upon the context, you have to understand whether it is a should or would or had. Okay? If any of this, you can always use I'd, I think I'd have to go, meaning I should have to go. like that. I'd. You are simply your. And you have becomes you. The H is gone. Simply like Y-U-V. You. So, for example, I think you've come today. You're not sure, you're just calling that person and then checking in the office. I think you've come today. You don't say like, I think you have come today. Flat. No flat. Not all the words stressing. Only the main words stressing. I think you've come today. If I reduce the volume here. If I don't say you have, I say you. I shrink it. Like that. We go to the next page. Okay. I will also be sharing these through the APTTI officials, so you don't have to write it. Just listen. So you will become you'll, they'll, like that. It's self-explanatory. Look at that. You should, suppose if it is like you would, it become you'd. I think you'd do that tomorrow. I think you'd come tomorrow. I think you'd be able to do that. I think you would be able to do that. No, I think you'd be able to do that. Look at that. We are becomes we're. We're. We. We're. We're going to a party. We're going to a party. Where are you going? Look at that. Even when people ask questions, they don't ask like where are you going? No. Where you going? Because that's the most important word. Look at the word. Where are no. Where are you going? Look at that. This is the most important word. Where you going? Where are you becomes where you. Look at that. Where you almost like this. Where I'm sorry, I'll write it here. Little where you look at that. Where you two parts like two sound. Where you going? That is how they say. I'm going to a party. I'm going to a party. I am no. Shrink it. That is the way it is. So we have becomes would, and we would becomes would. We'd do that tomorrow. We would do that tomorrow becomes we'd do that tomorrow. Do tomorrow. These are the two words you would hear with more volume, not the other words, because they are the stressed words. We do it tomorrow. Look at that. They are becomes they are. Now they are not there. They are not there. You put it together because these three words are not stressed words. So you put it together. They are not there. Not we have the stress because it is a stressed word. I think we saw that. We were talking about that. So there's negative words like not, don't. You have to stress it. You don't have to release it. For example, if you say any negative sentence, no, I'm not coming with you. Somebody else calling, hey, come, let's go. And you say, no, I'm not coming with you. Not should be given more volume because you're resisting. You're not going to go along with them. So they're not. I don't I don't come tomorrow. I don't come tomorrow. Don't. Meaning you're not gonna come. So you stress there. So all this don't, not, and can't, won't, you have to stress it. And they are becomes there, they have becomes they've. They've a party tomorrow. Look at that. They have a party tomorrow. We say like this. They have a party tomorrow. Look at this. Only these two words are stress words, not these words. So you shrink it. Like how? They've a. That's it. Look at that. They've a party tomorrow. They've a party tomorrow because you've put it together. It sounds like this. They've a party tomorrow. Like that. They and they will. They'll. They'll come tomorrow. For example, we say they will come tomorrow. All. These two are not stress words. So you reduce it. So it becomes they'll. They'll come tomorrow. It's not said like they will come tomorrow. Of course, it will be they will come tomorrow. If there is any question, if there is any doubt about that, if there is any counter question about this particular line, then you split it, say it, stress it, and then say it for better understanding. Otherwise, normal sense, you say, they'll come tomorrow, like that. And then they would, dead. And he is his, for example, is a student. Look at that. He is a, these two, these three are not the major word. This is the most important word. So you say, you put it together. Look at this. All these string, you shrink it like this. He, the, he's a. He's a. Look at that. In the English language, if you find the letter yes in between the vowels, you have to give the Z sound. The letter yes does not always give the yes sound all the time. No, sometimes it is the yes sound, sometimes it is the Z sound, Z sound. But how do I know it is where to give the Z sound? There are many contexts. One of the contexts is this. If you find the yes in the middle of vowels, you have to pronounce the yes with the Z sound. For example, look at the word please. Excuse. Look at these yeses are in between the vowels, so you must give the Z sound. If you're not giving the Z sound, that means you're not pronouncing the word perfectly. Okay. So likewise, look at that. Here, the yes. It doesn't matter. It is whether it is a and after there's a gap, it's fine. But after the yes, you have a vowel. So in a scenario like this, you have to give the Z sound. So he's a student. He's a student. That is how we have to pronounce it. But remember, the is not always the Z sound. Look at that. He is going. Now here it is S only because before the S you have the vowel, after the S you have a consonant. So here it is a yes only, S sound only. He's going, not he is going. No, he's going. No, not that. I hope you understood. Fine, we'll go on. He'll. These are like easy. She's. She is become shiz. It will become it'll. It'll rain tomorrow. It'll. It is or it has becomes its. And then it would or it should and it had becomes it'd. It'd. It'd be good if you listen and understand everything. It'd be good. Look at that. It would be good if you listen carefully and understand them. Understand all of it. All of it. Look at that. Look at how many words are important. Look at that. This is important. This is important. This is important. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is important. And this is important. And the rest all non-stress words. So you're gonna go reduce the volume like this. Not it would be like this. It'd it'd be. It'd be not and all of it. Like all the all of it. Oh, so sorry. All all of it. Look at that. This is out. No, it's big, so it is little. Sounds like looks like little complicated. Just reduce it. 30. Look at that. It'd be good. Look at that. I'm just reading it. It'd be good if you listen carefully and understand all of it. And I only say not and. Because some of us may say this word, this conjunction as I went to the party and I went to my friend's house. No. I went to the party and you dropped the D because the D is gone and because it is a sentence, it is not a stressed word. So if it is not a stressed word, you have to reduce the pronunciation. If you reduce it, that will happen only if you drop the D. So N. Sometimes Even the A will be dropped. Look at that. You and I are going. Look at that. You and I. Look at that. You and I. The A is gone and the D is gone. Oh, you put it like this. You and I. You and I. Put it together. You and I are. You and I are going. Look at this. All these four words is it. You and I are. You and I are going. You and I are going. We have to reduce it because these are not the stressed words in a sentence. So we have to reduce it. That is what voice modulation. That is how you get the music from the English. Okay, we'll just see some other. Look at that. All this contracted form. Now you don't have to use these as this contracted form separately unless it is required, unless you want to highlight it, unless you want to give a special meaning by saying it separately. Otherwise, in a general context, in a general conversation, you are advised to say use these uh, contracted form, like joined form. Instead of are not, you say are. He, for example, uh, they are not coming. So you say they aren't coming here today. That is how you say. Only then it is modulated. Only then it sounds pleasing. Only then it exhibits music from it. Only then it sounds attractive. Only then it sounds natural. Only then it sounds English. Only then it sounds the actual sentence speaking. Okay? So likewise, couldn't, won't, wouldn't, but not here. There is a z you have to give actually here. Doesn't. It is not didn't. Some of us will say like didn't. It should be like didn't. Look at this. The Americans would say like this. They don't sound the T at all. They will silence the T. In the American English, like if there is any N T combination, they will silence the T. For example, I'm sure you would have heard about this word international. International. Plenty. They would say plenty. Look at this word. 20. Because NT combination, wherever you have this NT combination, the Americans will usually drop the T. Sometimes some people will drop the T, some people will change the T into D. Either way. Okay, let's go with just dropping the T. Let's say plenty. Plenty of opportunity. Look at that. 20, 21, 22, 23. If you're a person who says the word like 20, this is how it is. Because the NT combination, T is gone. It is mute in the American English. So 20, 21, 22, 23. So likewise, look at that. Don't. They don't say don't because it is NT combination. They would say, I don't know. No, not at all. They would only say, I don't know. Because they feel that the T is actually obstructing. Look at this. I don't know. Because it is actually spoiling the rhythm. So they just simply take it away. Look at that. I don't know. Even the K is gone because it is mute. This W is also mute. So they would say, I don't know. I don't know. But we usually say, I don't know. But they say, I don't know. Because they want to have that continuity in the sentence. They want to have that unbroken rhythm. Okay? If they want to get the proper, pleasant, uninterrupted rhythm, they must drop the T. So they drop it. So not only the don't, look at this word. Didn't, they don't say. They would say didn't actually. Didn't. I didn't know anything. Or I didn't come yesterday. That's American English. Now, we're not teaching American English, but as a trainer, you must know the difference between the British and the American English when you train them. Because just imagine that if a student is going to ask you a question, sir, I heard like this, why is that? You cannot say that's American English, just ignore it. We have to follow the British. You cannot say that. You need to know the difference. So likewise, all the negatives. You don't say can't. I can't come tomorrow. It's like not like I can't. She can't do that. Can't. She can't do that. No, she can't do that because the T is gone. Couldn't. Oh, they couldn't come yesterday. They couldn't do it yesterday. They couldn't submit it yesterday. They couldn't attend the class yesterday. Likewise, one. I won't do that. They won't do that. They won't manipulate it, and they won't attend the class. Not won't, because if you pronounce a T, that is an obstruction, meaning that is a trouble, meaning that is something that is spoiling. So they drop it. So wouldn't, they would go directly wouldn't, W-N. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Wouldn't instead of wouldn't. Look at the word doesn't. She doesn't know anything, so don't do anything to her or don't punish her. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't. You have to give the Z sound here. Don't. I don't know. They don't know. Hasn't. Look at the hasn't. She hasn't come yet. She hasn't come today. Look at that. She hasn't come today. Look at that. She hasn't come today. She hasn't come today. Z here. You have to give the Z sound. She hasn't come today. Hasn't. Not hasn't. The H is gone because you have to mute it. The H. She hasn't come today. The H. You have to mute the H. And you have to mute the T. And the E is mute. And today, yeah, the rest all okay. As in, she hasn't come today. As in, ha. When you say these words like have, has, had, him, her, his, you don't usually this both even these English people, they usually mute it. When you say it individually, it is have, has, had, him, her, his. But if you put this in a sentence, then all the H's are gone. I'll give you an example. Look at that. I told him. Some of us may say it like this. I told him. But the English people say, I told him. I told them. Look at that. I told, told them. I told him. I told him. I told him. Like that. I told him. Because the H is gone. It's not pronounced. It's both British as well as in the American English. I told him. Similarly, her. Her. I told her. I told her. I told them. I told. Similarly, had, has, have. Separately, you say it is H with the H. In a sentence, without the H. Remember that. So all this wasn't, no. Here you have to give the Z sound here. Isn't, again, you have to give this. Look at there. I told you that the yes must be pronounced with a Z sound. There are so many contexts. One context is if you find the yes in between the vowels, you have to give the Z sound. The second context, look at this. You have the vowel on the left side. On the right side, if you have the letter N, then this yes, you have to give the Z sound. So isn't, wasn't. Not wasn't. It should be isn't, wasn't. Mustn't. And then mustn't, needn't, oughtn't, shan't, shouldn't, shouldn't. Should not become shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. Look at that. You shouldn't, it shouldn't come. Suppose there is a sentence. Look at that. This shouldn't. That's it. Shouldn't. It shouldn't come. That's a short form. That you have to say this way in order to get the rhythm. It shouldn't come. Now just imagine that English language is like this. Once you start, the rhythm must continue till the end. I mean till the full stop, like this. If you want to break it, make sure that the continuity is not lost. I told them to do that. There was a gap, but I did not leave the continuity. There's still. I told them to do that. What is your name? Look at that. There is a gap, but I did not leave the voice continuity. It is still there because you're doubtful. So you're asking, I don't know your name. What is it? You say that. Look at that. That is how usually they speak English. But we say separately. What is your name? Some of us, not all of us. What is your name? Separately. Give gap for every word. No, that's not the way. That is not how the sentence is modulated, voice modulated. It should be continuously. So Darren, like that. And some of the preposition, look at that. It's not a. Sometimes it is a if you stress it, but in a sentence you always say not yeah. And strong form, weak form. Weak form is the one that you have to put it in a sentence. So not an. And if you say that is separately, that is a strong form. But in a sentence, you have to say un. For example, uh, 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 it is an idea. I have an idea. Look at that. I have an idea. You don't say I have an idea. I have an idea. Look at that. I don't say I have an idea. I say I have an idea in a usual manner. So there it is weakened. Similarly, we talked about this and becomes an sometimes in a fast sentence like you and I. I don't say you and I. No. You and I. No. You and I. You and I. Look at that. You and I. Even the A is gone. And then simply the word are. They are coming. You don't say they are coming. When you say are, it's not even are, it's are. But in a sentence, sorry, they are coming. They are coming. No, they are coming. Reduced. Similarly, the word, when you say individually, the strong form is as. As. But here you have to say it in a sentence as. Reduce it. At. At. Be. Be. Meaning these are all strong form. Strong form is nothing but when you say that word specifically, individually. Weak form is nothing but you reduce the volume for that word when you say that in a sentence. When you use that in a sentence, that is called the weak form. Look at that. We say bean separately. For example, if somebody writes this word on the board, how do you pronounce it? You say bean. But if you put the same word in a sentence, bin, so you have to say like this: I've been talking to you. I've been listening. Or you've been listening to me. You've been, not been. You have been listening to me. No. You've been listening to me. I've been talking to you. Been. Because that's the way it has to be told. So, but the same way. Can. 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 Could. Could. Did. Did. Do. D. Does. Does. Far. No. But. For. We're all here for English. For. Or we're all here for APTTI. So for, not for. For. Individually, for. Again, there are differences. If you go to UK, they say for. If you go to US, they say far. Far. If you go to UK, they say for, o sound. So anything that comes to your tongue can easily go with that. So for. From. Had becomes ad because the H is gone. Have, similarly. Her, he. For example, he is my friend. Look at that. This becomes like this I, not L. I. Is my friend. Look at that. Remove the he. Is my friend. Even this is gone because there are two together. One is gone. So is my friend. Meaning he is my friend. Is my friend. That is how it is usually said. General context, how the sentence is stressed or read or spoken. So that's how everything is what, where, no, what, was, as, to, no. I am going to a party, no. I'm going to, not to. I'm going to a party, like that. To. Who, the W is gone. For example, who is talking to me? Who's talking to me? Oh, look at that. Because the W is gone. Who's talking to me? And the H is also gone sometimes. Ooh, like ooh, ooh, ooh. Who's talking to me? Or who's talking to you? Ooh. That is how it is. But it is not like poo separately like this. Now, who's talking to you? Ooh. The W is gone. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's it. Ooh, ah, ooh. That sound. Who's talking to you? That. Will becomes ill. Would becomes would. You becomes you. So these are some of the basic rules that govern the English sentences when you speak or when you read, meaning you have to put that into weak form. And apart from that, there are a lot more that would come under this voice modulation. But how much time left, ma'am? I think the time's up.
Yeah. Yes, Suresh. So
Yes.
we have some few questions. So if the
Yeah.
candidates they have some question, we can go for at least 5 to 6 minutes with that.
Okay, okay. So let me just wrap it up. So I hope you understood that voice modulation is all about the moving the pitch up and down depending upon the word in a general context. But if you're gonna go stress, for example, if you want to stress anything, you can just stress any word. Just leave the rules like what I talked about, stressed word or non-stressed word. It doesn't matter. If you want to stress, give a meaning specifically, you can even stress a pronoun. It doesn't matter. I said, I am talking. I'm not talking about somebody else talking. It's I who is talking. So you can stress the word I. But technically, based on the English rule, I is not a stressed word. But here you can stress because you're highlighting. If you want to highlight, you can stress any word. But in a general context, you don't have to use like I'm a student like that. Okay, so that is what voice modulation. In that way, you can understand the other words how it has to be silenced and weakened the pronunciation. If you know that, apply that and just start talking. You should remember one thing: voice modulation is all about like connecting words together, not separately. You have to blend all the words together and then you have to speak, and then keep changing the volume up and down depending upon whether it is a content word or a non-content word. All right. So I hope you understood to some extent about what is voice modulation or how you could go ahead and apply that into your speaking and reading. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and shoot it so that we can have a little more understanding. Yes. Let me also check if there is anything in the chat box. Yes. Yes. Please go
I
ahead.
I I I won't call what I say now a question. It's
Okay.
kind of a question rolled into an experience, basically. See, for
Okay.
me, it is, I'm 54 years old now. I teach English.
Okay.
I teach communication skills. I'm also doing commentary of late. For me, it
Okay.
is more of a backward integration. It's a lot of what I've learned. Now I'm able
Okay.
to relate to a lot of what I'm learning from your class as well. That
Okay.
a lot of what you said is learned by active listening. Listening, I heard a lot of the BBC for a long time. I
Okay.
when
Good.
before televisions came in, I was listening to Test Match Special, and I heard the best commentators called the golden era of cricket commentary on BBC. So
Okay.
a lot of what you said, and there was a mix of Australians, of the Englishmen, of I mean all the three varieties of the British English, the Irish, Scottish, and British English, and the New Zealanders also. So a bit of that accent
Okay.
was also coming into play when you were talking. I was trying to relate that to the three different accents that I heard when I was hearing the BBC. But overall, it is in spite of all the that I've heard, I'm a bit diffident about using them. But I think today the class that I heard from you gave me a lot of insights as to why I should be pronouncing the right way rather than be adamant about the way I do it. That's something that I felt I should share with you. It was very, very informative. For me, it was a bit of an antivirus kind of a thing, cleaning up my own my own system.
Yeah. Thank you.
But
Thank you.
it was such a pleasure listening.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It's all about quality. We always go after the quality, right? Any product we buy, we look for the quality ones. Likewise, wherever we go work, they always look for quality. So whoever has the quality English will get more opportunities, so more money and more. Not only the money, everything, the other things I'm talking about. So quality,
but
that's the
but
main
but
thing
but
here. Thank
I'd
you.
like to say I'd like to wonder whether you can't look for the benefits. You must learn to love what you do, and then I think everything else
Yes, of course.
will happen automatically.
Yes, that's the first thing. Yes, that's the first thing. The rest will follow automatically.
You can't force yourself
Yes, so
on
thank you.
such things, at least is what I felt.
Yes, yes, yes. I understand that. Thank you. I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
I'm done with what I have to say. I'll now listen.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Anybody else? Yes. Yes.
For introducing English language to the new child means first we introduce the rules of English are you just by pronouncing words is essential for them. Are you clear with that?
Uh, I'm really sorry. Please excuse me. I didn't catch that quietly. Can you just come close to the mic and tell me exactly the
Yeah,
question?
sir. The first time we introduce the language to the new one by rules of English are which one is better by providing the rules of English the correct way of pronunciation or by choosing the word by skipping word like that is better.
Okay.
Why?
Yes. Okay. Great. I think you're done. You're done with the question.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, you're all adults. You're all already trainers. You're going to be trainers, or you're already teachers or trainers. So I'm talking about the rules in details. But when you go start in the beginning, you cannot just start about the rules directly. So depending upon the level of the listener or the learner, you'll have to slowly introduce. For example, when I talked about this, yes, pronouncing as Z, that you can implement it directly when you're taking a class for like second standard or third standard, even first standard, because that's something that they can get easily and then they can get on with that. But not the other thing that I said in detail about the rules and the sentence rules, the content words, not that to the young learners. But you should know, you
Yeah.
would already know where to apply, where not to apply the rules. Depending upon the level, you can talk about the rules. Otherwise, you just start with the easy way, regular way.
Yeah. Understand.
I hope I made sense to your question.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Sure.
Yes, yes. It's depending upon the context. You can, but context matters a lot. Yes. Any other? Even if you're not going to say that here directly, you can even put it in the chat box. I can read it and answer if there is any question.
I think we should wind up now, Suresh. If they have any
Yes.
question, they can mail me, and I'll forward that to you. And if you want to share something with them, kindly to mail me those PPT and all what you have, what materials. If you want to share with them, you just mail it to me. And if any one of them they need it, I'll be sharing them.
Okay, yes, I will be sharing those materials with ma'am, and she will share it with you. And if you have any questions, you may also get in touch with me. This is my number. This is my WhatsApp number. So my name is Dr. Suresh. So anything in the future, if you want to know, I mean, maybe after leaving, or once you finish your TEFL training, probably later, if you want to get any clarification, you can always get in touch with me in the future. That's my number. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this
Yeah, thank you
opportunity.
so much, Suresh,
I also
for
would like
sharing
to,
some
yes,
valuable
ma'am, I also
information
would like to
with
thank
us.
Mr. Roy.
Thank you so
Yes, ma'am.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
grateful, Suresh sir and Sushmita madam. It is an
Thank you.
absolute
Thank you
Thank you
so
lot
so
of
much,
learning.
Dr. Suresh.
Thank you
It
so much.
was a wonderful session. It
Thank
was
you.
like listening to you for hours.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Welcome.
everyone.